What's up, everybody? Welcome to AEW Uncensored. I'm here with my man, Alan. We are the Bridge and Tunnel Connect, Nolan Hash, and the Beast from the East.
With the least
research.
research.
So what's going on, brother?
Nothing much. Another day.
All good,
Another
all good?
week AEW.
Shit, man, this weekend's flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, as always, like, share, subscribe, please. Please hit that like button. If you're watching this, please hit the like button. After a year now, we should have way more than 10 likes a week, God damn it. We have a lot of listeners for the audio, but the video, it's not popping as much. I get it, though. It's hard to, schedule a time to watch something live. So please hit the like button, share this this video, and subscribe. Everything we do, all links, everything, uncensoredalliance.com. As Iron Sheik says, do some research, otherwise go fuck yourself. So he tells us to fuck ourselves weekly. I think I'm going to leave that photo there.
Good idea.
For evergreen, a term which I haven't heard up until maybe 5 years ago.
I use it every week. Not here, but
all right. Yeah, but I'm just saying, I never heard of this shit up until 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So, Twitter, AEW Uncensored, pretty much shut down at that point. Alan somehow got me back in using his phone number, and I tried to log into my personal account, and they fucking flagged it and said, nope, now you need your number.
Oh, seriously? So mine was not enough?
It worked, but then when I tried to go off the Uncensored account and go onto my own, it fucking locked me out of both again.
Shit.
So, I guess it kind of seen you as an owner as well. I believe you're an owner of the Twitter as well. I believe you're linked to it. So, email AEW Uncensored Podcast at gmail.com. Love mail, hate mail, anything you want to have comments on, discussion, whatever the fuck you want to send it to us. Facebook, AEW Uncensored Podcast. We have a page and a group. Throw it in the search bar. Search it, like the page, join the group. As always with Skype, links in the description of the podcast, the audio podcast, and the live video we're doing right now. Send us a message on Skype, and you can join the show, which we will have a brand new caller shortly after I get done with this bullshit. As far as the audio version of this podcast, you can catch us on all third-party podcast applications, podcatchers, if you will, Google Podcasts, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeart Radio, and, of course, iTunes. Please rate and review us on iTunes. Just like to like, share, and subscribe. Oh, and hit that bell. That is the big thing for our podcast on the audio side. So if you listen to our podcast every week and you do have an iTunes account, please help us out and go review us and rate us on iTunes. It would be huge. I know it takes a little time, but if you love us, it's worth your time, right? That's what I say. If you love something, support it. And that's an easy way to support us. And hey, it lets us know you are listening. So, I mean, we could see it in the numbers, but, podcast numbers are weird. It's like they're there, but they're not there. I still haven't figured out how to get, true, honest-to-goodness podcast numbers. Maybe somebody can help us out with that.
Any specific countries up in the rankings this week?
No, we have Germany. Listen, I forgot to mention this last week. Germany, you fucking disappoint. You bring us all the way to the precipice. We're there for 2 weeks straight. Top 10, I believe. No, top 100, sorry. Early on, we were, top 10. But 2 weeks straight, we didn't even leave the top 100. All of a sudden, Germany, we haven't been back in 2 weeks. So,
Shit.
Germany's they're very fair weather, I think, at this point. Thailand and the Philippines have disappointed me because we haven't been back, okay? So, we have not been back in their rankings since the last time we spoke about them. So, let's go.
All right.
Listen, we need some different country support here, guys.
Exactly.
So, push your fellow countrymen, wherever the fuck you are. Send them over. But, yeah, man, I'm gonna bring on our next gonna bring on our guest who has a call in. Let me do this. Oh my God. Doing this live is not fun. All right. Here he is. We're calling him in. We're calling him in.
There you go.
How's it going?
What's up?
Hey, what's up?
What's up, brother?
So, I mean, I think we should talk about the big news. Okada coming to AEW.
You heard that, huh? First of all, what's your name? Where you calling from? How about that?
Oh, well, my name is Big Dub, and I'm from Kobe
Big
TV.
Dub? All right. So what's up? Yeah, I just saw that Okada was talking about Impact and AEW. So that's what's really interesting about all this.
I mean, do we really need to see Okada Omega 5?
I mean, I wouldn't cry.
No one would cry, but has it cooled off enough to where you could reignite it again?
I think so. It's been what, 2.5 years?
Well, you're also going to have it on a different stage. You're going to have a lot more fans who were exposed to it who may not have been exposed before because of getting involved with AEW. So
that is true.
But wouldn't you want to see Jay White versus Omega more, just because of the whole Bullet Club?
Sure,
I'm down with that. Yeah, but let's see if that Bullet Club is a swerve. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
How about Hangman and Okada?
That should be a very good match.
I think that would be a great match.
Especially with how weirdly they're booking Hangman right now. That could really help him.
100% agree. And I think he's, in terms of work in the ring, I think he's one of the best, one of the smoothest in the company currently. You know, guys like him and Jungle Boy.
And Darby.
Darby, yes. Yeah. Darby sells his ass off for sure. I mean, I think, he's always coming from underneath. So it's, I think he shines in that role.
It surprises me that he weighs 20 pounds more than Jungle Boy.
Does he really?
He does.
Oh my God. I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that either. He still doesn't look good. Least research for a reason.
That's why you do the research. I mean, 20 pounds and 2 inches is all the difference in the world.
It's significant enough.
That is crazy. That is crazy. I saw something as well since you're on, and how about you guys heard about Sammy Guevara and the issue with Impact?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a work,
You think so?
Everything, I mean, they got to work it somehow. Try to make it.
Okay,
you gotta blur the line somehow, and that's a great way to blur the line.
That is true. It's a good call, because you know why? Because with Tony, I could get it after reading the article and stuff. Why that could definitely be part of the work. I'm wondering if maybe something happens with him and Sean Spears as they're both, away.
Like they could be a little bit of a faction. They could be the new outsiders kind of thing. Right.
Like let's be real. We all know AEW loves groups and factions and teams.
Just like New Japan.
Right. So I wouldn't doubt that, and honestly wouldn't hate it either. I mean, the perfect 10, and Sammy plays the pretty boy, and Sammy, I think it's funny because when he's focused with those promos, he does well, but on Dark, he was doing these meandering, I have nowhere to go promos, and they were killing me.
Well, I mean, Dark kills me, period, because all of it is just not perfect.
It's all jobbers.
And I know a lot of people are learning, and I don't, fault anyone from learning, but those are rough to watch. And what's really rough to watch is 5 or 6 tag matches on Dynamite.
Always.
I mean, I get they want us to love tag team wrestling, but we don't need to see 5 matches of it on 2 weeks of Dynamite.
Yeah, and they're not very focused with the tag team division, in my opinion. As much as they have, it's very all over the place.
You could say that about a lot of the storylines.
Yeah,
very true.
I mean, we've said certainly with the tag teams in the past, it feels like what they're doing is they're just trying to get as many people on screen as they can, so they're just rushing them into these makeshift tag teams, and they're just, well, let's just throw you at the screen and see how you stick, and it just gets just completely out of control. I mean, I really do think that that is one of their weakest selling points at the moment is their tag team division, and it doesn't help when you just have multi tag team matches just all the time.
I think they're suffering from the fact that they don't have enough television time to give everyone, and they're trying to shoehorn people.
Then why do you have Dark?
Right.
Dark what we
spoke
time.
Right. What we spoke about with Dark was early on it was a disaster. It was just, again, multi-man match galore, just getting people on their channel. And then what my feeling was that with the whole pandemic, they wanted to give indie workers work and give them a paycheck. So what they ended up doing was transferring it over to basically a WWF Superstars, a WCW main event, where it's like they give you jobbers versus the pros, and
sometimes jobbers versus jobbers.
Right, that too. Yeah. Yes. But it's jobbers versus jobbers that usually are going to be on the uptick, like the Acclaimed.
Oh god.
Things like that. So, you don't like the Acclaimed? Oh my goodness.
I like their in-ring work, the rapping gimmick. Bye-bye.
I love it.
I'm glad it's not just
love
me.
It. Everybody's shitting on that, man. I love it.
Me and my
love
co-host hate it. Period. It is terrible. Get it off my screen.
I love it.
You know what?
I'm
Indie
all
gimmicks
for
do
it.
not translate a lot of the times. This is one of them. This is one of them.
Yeah, I like it. I like the lines. I like the little jabs he takes. So for me, I dig it.
You could say it, not rap it.
Yeah, but your gimmicks are rapping. Your gimmicks are rappers.
And
so.
WWE fans are like, "Oh my god, it's a ripoff of John Cena."
Of course. I mean, and he was a ripoff of Men on a Mission, and Men on a Mission was a ripoff of PN News, and we could go down, and JC and Wolfie D, and but I mean, everything eventually comes back around in wrestling. You know how it goes. So what else you want to touch on that happened this week?
Surprisingly, that Tony Khan is the most interesting character in AEW right now.
With those little promos he's doing for Impact, yes. I watch them on and off. I haven't watched them all, but yeah, I agree. It's pretty fun, and I think he overhams it up in terms of being an all over the place goofball.
But it works.
Right.
It works for him.
He's kind of it's like a little bit of a off the wall lunatic type mentality. You know what I mean? And not lunatic in like Moxley lunatic fringe bullshit, but I'm just talking like he's a little wacky.
Maybe he's leading towards that.
He might be.
Because what if hypothetically those ads start showing up in Japan?
That's going to be fun. I don't doubt that they do that. I don't doubt that they transition it from Impact to Japan as well.
Or AAA, because they still have that partnership with them, even though they hardly ever talk about it.
Yeah.
He's obviously getting his hands into everything. It's really funny. I follow a lot of pop culture sites, and they had a very interesting article this past week about how the story that's going on now is essentially the Infinity War of professional wrestling. And it kind of is having that very big crossover feel to it, which is only going to help him. I mean, he's going to basically be able to expose his business to every eye imaginable and to try to get people involved with it. So it's good on him, I think, certainly for the direction he's going in.
I think I've mentioned this on my own show, but I think this is leading toward a War Games match.
I could see that.
Or not War Games,
would be
World War III match.
That would be fun.
That's what I meant to say.
That would be fun.
Especially having New
listen.
Japan, AAA, and Impact. I know the NWA's out there, but that's mainly for the women's division because, let's just be honest, Nick Aldis is going to run and hide because he's a massive fish in a puddle.
Yeah. I like that idea. I like the fact that New Japan, like Okada, who the fuck mentioned Impact? Somebody mentioned Impact from New Japan. Was it Okada? So it's interesting that Impact is even being mentioned with New Japan, especially the frosty relationship that they had apparently.
Especially how
with
they booked Okada.
Right, with
Shinsuke.
how they treated Okada. Yeah. So.
But I think that's where Khan comes in. I think Khan is really trying to find a way to just mend every fence that he can so that he can have this multi-layered business amongst the different organizations.
Well, and I also think what also helps is that Don is in charge for now, at least with Impact.
Yeah.
I don't know how long that his contract is for. I heard it's supposed to be up after WrestleMania time.
That's
I'm curious if he stays with I'm curious if he stays with Impact or comes over to AEW.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to make him an EVP.
No. I don't think so either. Definitely not. But you never know. I mean, Impact is, I don't watch the brand, so it's,
No, it's they make really good pay-per-views. Weekly TV is just as bad as Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they need to fix.
Yeah, I don't watch WWE either. This guy could talk more to it. He watches Alan watches.
I mean, I'm more aware of it than I watch it these days. I follow a lot more just in terms of podcasting, in terms of what's going on, because it has gone to such shit over the last few years. But really,
I watch it.
Yeah, I'll say this though.
The content.
I'll say this, and this is something that definitely I think Tony Khan has to watch out for when it comes to Raw. I think what was one of the final nails in the coffin for Raw was when it went to 3 hours. Mm-hmm. And they didn't know what to do with that amount of time. And I think that there is a lesson in there for AEW, that they'll want to be very careful, that if they do want to do another show or something like that, that's fine. But definitely make sure not to go past a 2-hour mark, because there is a point where you're going to have an audience that's going to get desensitized to the material and they're going to get bored. And that's what I think is what's happened with Raw. And yeah, hopefully Tony Khan will not make that same mistake.
I wouldn't be surprised if that second show, whenever that shows up, is going to be on Max.
Oh, really?
HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I wouldn't be surprised, considering how everything's moving to streaming, and now you have the whole Peacock deal with WWE. I mean, stuff's moving that way. You already have channels consolidating.
It's a good point.
That's a good point. But didn't they say it was going to be on television cable?
Yeah, but terms can change all the time.
It's true. Very true.
I mean, cable itself is becoming so antiquated that's a good point, that you could really see streaming as the new cable. When you talk about people watching HBO, they're like, well, yeah, I'm watching Max. I'm not watching HBO. When I'm going to watch Justice League in a few weeks, Justice League's on Max. It's not going to be on actual HBO. So the terminology of cable really has been changing over the last year or two. That's a good point.
And who knows? I mean, both their TV deals are up at the same time in 2024. What's to say both of them?
That would be wild.
I mean, there are already whispers of NBC buying WWE for Peacock. I mean, what's to say HBO Max doesn't throw out $1 billion at Dynamite to go to Max?
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, the ratings aren't there.
Right.
Overall for wrestling. No matter what,
the cachet isn't there.
No matter what Nick Khan says in the investor call. But I mean, you could really have your niche market. You can still get the views from there, and it would free up time for whatever other live sport they wanted to put on, or TNT goes away altogether. Because I mean, let's be honest, everything's going to go streaming eventually.
It will
eventually, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bill.
I think you need that cable presence, though. Until cable goes away, you need that presence, because there's still as heavy as streaming is, there's still a large portion of the country that has no fucking clue how to use streaming or any of that stuff. So
that's why they have grandkids.
Yeah, but they also are called, Bobby, I'm trying to get in. I just had my stepdad last night try to get to me about the UFC. He's like, it froze. I can't do it. I go, listen, you got to hit this button and this button to reboot. You know how he tried to reboot it? He turned the TV off. I'm like, bro, it's the device that the issue is, not the TV. He's like, yeah, I just came back on and the picture was still the same. I said, yeah, because you're not rebooting the device by turning the TV off. So he had to reboot the device, and it's, it's not working. It's not. I'm like, did you press them at the same time? The whole thing. And listen, he's only like 50 some, so
And here's another thing to that. I don't think cable companies or TV networks care about those people. They only care about New York and LA.
Hey,
that's true. That's really, really
I mean,
true.
if you really think about it, they're only programming for New York and LA. Maybe Texas. Maybe. Yeah. But
ironically, even New York and LA
like
now.
The Midwest and the Plains, they don't care.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about Middle America. I care about Middle America.
I care. I live in the Middle America.
Sorry, that's my short promo.
I mean, at the end of the day, streaming is still in its infancy. So, Bill definitely is making a good point that it is going to take a little bit of time to actually get people acclimated to that is now how you watch TV. You go to Disney Plus, you go to HBO Max, you go to Peacock, you go to any of these, number of spots in order to be able to watch. But yeah, until cable goes away, it probably is at least maybe another generation from it disappearing entirely.
I say 15 years or less because the next NFL deal, I know they just redid their one about a week ago. After that one is up, I bet Amazon's going to throw the truck at them. And they're going to say they're going to have to say yes, or YouTube, Google or Amazon are going to throw the money, and they're going to have to give them one of the packages.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Wild West right now. I think, in my opinion, I think a lot of these companies are jumping the gun on streaming, but they're not as well because it's you have to get it. You have to be early to it. To get your foot in the door. It's kind of like when it was Microsoft and Sony going for Blu-ray and whatever the fuck Microsoft was trying to do. And at this point, see, we don't even know what they were trying to do.
Zune.
That says it all.
So, with the PS5, what was it, PS3 with the Blu-ray and the Xbox.
Yeah.
And it's like you got to get in early, and I see why they're doing it, but it's also, I think, like I said, I think it's still premature, but I understand why they're getting in so early. I think maybe if they go within the next 10 years, I still think that's all your eggs in one basket too quick.
I mean, again, if they're throwing the money, because it's always about the money.
Yeah.
I mean, if they offer, let's say $5 billion or $10 billion, whatever ups it from the last to where it's, no, or even 20 billion. What's to say they don't go? And then of course WWE is going to be like, oh, we can do that too, even though the ratings don't show it or their streaming numbers.
Yeah, man, I just don't know how sustainable these numbers are either. Because the money they're throwing at WWE, what was it for Peacock?
It was $1 billion.
It was about
$1 billion. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how many subscribers do you need just to recoup that $1 billion from WWE in a year?
And that's an interesting point you bring up because yesterday I posted a story that someone at NBC Universal was lying about their Peacock streaming numbers, that they were at 33 million. When really they were at 11.
Huh.
So.
But 11 million times what's Peacock? Just say $5. I mean.
$4.99 with ads, and then $9.99 ad free, which is what WWE will be at.
Right.
So. Let's just go. That's $110 million if those numbers are correct, right? 11 million. $10 a pair. Just and that's high side. $10. I went $10.
Yeah.
So you're not even breaking even on. You're 900 million off. You know what you paid WWE for their shit.
And you're giving them 200 million a year.
There you go.
Along with Fox and USA for SmackDown and Raw and NXT.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. Real quick, we got something in the chat. Shubham, hopefully I said your name right. Sorry if I didn't, brother. He says thoughts on the Forbidden Door finally being unlocked.
I love the fact.
Let's hear what you got to say.
I love the fact that Tony's already trademarked that and the Forbidden Portal.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. I didn't even see that. Lee's research.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even see that.
Find it hilarious.
We leave it up to the real. Listen, we leave it up to the real professionals like Big Dub over here.
Watch me every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and whenever they're pay-per-view.
There you go. Where can they find you?
YouTube and Facebook. We go live at 10:15 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. No, we don't watch all of Raw because the Raw has to earn its third hour, and they haven't done that.
They haven't in their first or second hour either, but that's another story.
Well, we try to be fair. Sometimes we go early, and then people complain, and go like, "You guys are early," and it's like, gotta earn it.
I think it says a lot that the biggest, attention that WWE has gotten in quite some time now is Nia Jax screaming out, "My hole, my hole." And
did you watch Friday? They tried to redo it again.
Yes, and it was awful. I saw that clip. It was absolutely awful. That is not a well that you try to go to twice. That's just.
But that's Vince. He loves the potty
That's Vince.
humor.
Exactly.
I saw something. I don't know how true it was. Again, I get all my WWE info through Facebook, and somebody said Nia Jax was telling the office they want them to send Lana back to training.
Yes.
Of all people, of all people,
that was a troll. That's got to be trolling. That's got to be.
It's got to be. It's got to be made up.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a Babylon Bee or something.
The trolling upon trolling between fans and wrestlers, never ending.
Jimmy says thumbs down for not even getting an invite to the party this time, bro. You could be the next guy on the fucking line, all right, pal. We got it. We got a current caller, and you could be next. And he said Bill never does research ever. Hell, I even gave him the Sheik tweet. You are right. You did give me that Sheik tweet. He did give me that Sheik tweet. I told you I'm fucking quasi banned from Twitter until I give them my phone number, and fuck them. Fuck Twitter to begin with, and fuck Twitter for getting my phone number. It ain't happening.
I gave them mine. I didn't even realize that I did.
Yeah. Fuck. Alan fucking gave them their number without even knowing.
Hey, just create a Google Voice account, and then you're good.
Yeah? All right.
See?
I'm going to figure that out.
That's all you really need to do is Google Voice. That's what I do for everything.
Yeah?
Yeah. Saves a lot of time and privacy, because it's a fake number.
That's a good point.
Does it cost money?
No, it's free.
Google Voice. Can we have call-ins on that?
Yes, you can.
Oh man, we're gonna have to get with you, bro. At least research.
I don't know how it would work through Skype, but you can definitely do call-ins.
Yeah, that's true. I'd have to fucking rig up some jerry-rig system. I mean, listen, getting you from Skype onto here isn't hard. It's just we had a little bit of dead air because I got to click a couple buttons and got to focus. Alan didn't take that airtime and fucking run with it. But
sorry, I was.
I'm gonna blame it on him.
Yeah, well, when we have guests, I got to turn the camera every which way, and it's goofy.
Hopefully, we could join you guys one day.
Yeah,
and,
hopefully
fucking get on. You guys on audio? You got an audio version as well? Because that's how I listen to all my shit.
We are live. We post to your page, sir. Both of them.
Yes.
And
I have seen that. Yep.
Yeah, and then YouTube.
Okay, sweet, cool.
So, and if you have plug the YouTube Premium, if you have YouTube Premium, you can download the show and listen to it that way or watch it that way, however you consume.
Okay, cool. Good shit.
What's the name of your channel again? I want to make sure to subscribe right away.
Covalent TV.
Yeah, he's dropped some links on Pro Wrestling Uncensored
Sweet.
and AEW Wrestling Uncensored.
I try to keep WWE and AEW separate with the news posts because apparently we have to do shit posting to get viewers.
It's the only way. Listen, that's why me and him shared a link on each group at the same time.
Yeah.
So, because you're only going to get partial audience, you know. So, but yeah, anything else you want to talk real quick, and then we'll move on to the normal shit.
How about this? Break up Jurassic Express.
Yeah, we've been saying that every week.
We spoke about that last week.
Yeah, yeah. They should have done that on day one, honestly.
I feel bad for Jungle Boy because he needs a different gimmick.
Yeah.
But since Tony just bought that song, you know, it's like...
I don't mind Jungle Boy. I think he'll be Jungle Jim. I think more in the vein of what Jim Ross is trying to do. Jungle fucking Jack Perry. Jesus Christ. You know, say it 12 times fast. Right. Jungle Jack Perry. Like the Jungle Boy will go away, but I don't mind the gimmick Jungle Jack Perry. You know what I mean? So that song is perfect. I think it's a good. I still think the song will work. It's good timing. You just got to change the name from Jungle Boy to Jungle Jack Perry.
Yes, and get Luchasaurus something.
The fuck out of there.
Well, I mean, he's okay. He's just slow for being
right.
a lucha.
He's very plotting. He's very everything's set up like we call it the grandma's molasses, the wall of grandma's molasses. Everything is just it's right there. You see it coming before it's even coming.
He's very telegraphed. Extremely telegraphed. So yeah,
very much so.
Jimmy says, "Choo choo train wreck city, Bill." Yes, it's always a train wreck when I try to talk. Fuck off. Relax, Shake. You fucking HWO son of a bitch. We have I don't know if you've ever listened to the show, but we have our listeners. We call them the family, aka the Peanut Gallery. They tried to take over the show, so they are the heel world order.
Oh, so it's not like Canada where it's Bizarro World?
No. That is a good idea. Bizarro World's a nice one. We got the family, like we got our own Heenan family, you know. That's the family.
Yeah, and, we call ours the community, just to keep it simple.
There you go.
We'll have the like gang, the comment gang. We take like breaks to make sure people like the video.
There you go. That's a good. I'm stealing it. Hey, everybody quiet now. Everybody who's listening right now, live, like the video. If we don't have 15 likes by the end of this, I'm gonna be pissed off.
Yeah, we say the same thing.
That was enough
time.
time.
Get it, but we still say the same thing.
Yeah, I know. It's the same thing. Nobody like literally nobody wants to do that shit. It's funny. I've been hardcore on YouTube ever since I had the fucking app on my TV, and I watch more YouTube now than anything. And now I've been making sure I'm going into videos I watch and liking them.
Same.
Because I realize it's like I can't ask people to do it and then not do it.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when it really helps out the page, whether it be Facebook or YouTube.
Right, exactly. All right, man. Any last words?
Last words. Jericho needs to lose weight.
Yes. Yes.
Got him. All right, brother. We appreciate you coming on, and hopefully we can link up sometime.
Yeah, hopefully.
You got me on Skype. You got Alan on Facebook there. Hopefully we can link up and get on yours and discuss some shit.
Yeah, we'll have to do it for an AEW show.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's all I fuck with. So definitely.
All right, see you guys.
All right, brother. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Later. All right. Look at that.
Good.
Is that our third official caller?
Yeah.
I think that's our third official caller.
I think yes.
George was our first. Then we had Simon, and then Simon Moore became he's a part of the show. Then of course Jimmy's a friend and part of the show, and Eddie's part of the show kinda. So, yeah, all right. I like it.
Oh, and Jim
So,
is asking where's...
shout out to Big Dub.
Yes. Yeah, Jimmy's asking where's
Thanks
Kenny and Simon.
Us.
Simon couldn't make it, and I was wondering where Bake is.
Simon's sexing up his old lady, and Bake, I don't know, he's probably still crying that Jacksonville wasn't in the Super Bowl. So, real quick, let me go back. Shubham, hopefully again, that's how you say your name. The Forbidden Door, I am happy about it. We kind of didn't touch on that as much as I'd like to have. But I enjoy it. I'm happy about it. I was hoping for this since day one. I kind of felt like it was gonna happen, and now that it's happening, the future is very bright.
Yeah.
You know, they obviously it won't be, nonstop, but when they do their shots and stuff, I see nothing but great fun and great matches. So, and the fact that they kicked down the Impact door as well. So.
Yep, that's right.
So looking like a bright future. Let's see. Jimmy says, "Oh yeah, that's right. It's VD Day. Yes, venereal disease day." And he goes, "I mean V Day." So funny, Jimmy. Funny how? All right, let's move to the normal, regularly scheduled program.
Yeah.
Ain't much pie. I mean, let's run through it. Darby Janella, surprisingly good match. I expect it because obviously they've wrestled the shit out of each other over the indies for a long period of time. So definitely a good match. I can't say again. I expected it, but I'm also surprised because Janela is one of these guys that sometimes I can stomach him and other times I can't. So it's weird that I expected it, but I also was like, I didn't expect it. Does that make sense? I mean,
yeah, and I have to say I'm probably guilty of also disliking Joey Janela because he's paired with Sonny Kiss, and I cannot stand Sonny Kiss. I mean, Joey Janela, this is his second match of the week. Actually, he had a match with Jack Evans on Dark, and he got a match here with Darby, and yeah, I thought it was great. They definitely work well together. I would like to see him even more so disconnected from Sonny Kiss, if at all possible. Not so much in the same way as with Jungle Boy with Luchasaurus, but it is a similar situation where I think he would do much better on his own, and keeping him away from Sonny Kiss, and then you can give him more moments like this.
Yeah. I was a little surprised Team Taz didn't strike during this match.
Yeah, me too. I was actually expecting that. Yeah.
Yeah, especially since they alluded to it. Next up, we get the Mox promo. I love how he kept the IWGP US title below the screen and then just mentions it and throws it over his shoulder. It's very good detail to the promo.
Yes.
That's a very smart, key, detailed thing to do in that promo, and I dug it. It's great to see that, going back to that, Forbidden Door, which I hate the term everybody's using, so I guess I have to, but to see the Forbidden Door kicked down, not only that, but now the title on AEW television. So
I was going to say, that was very significant. The fact that they actually showed the title, they didn't shy away from it. They weren't trying to block it out or anything like that. They were being very in your face of, yeah, this is all now one big world. So
yep,
it was significant.
Yeah, for sure. We move on to Sammy confronting MJF. He basically says he sees what MJF is doing, what he's up to. He's trying to take over the Inner Circle, basically. MJF pulled his phone out and puts it on the table. He asked Sammy, that's what you really mean? He asked to clarify that that's exactly what he means. Yeah, Sammy kind of gets the feeling he's being recorded, takes Jericho's phone, smashes it against the wall, then he punches MJF in the ribs, and basically walks out. He told the camera to stay. So, all right, a lot of people are like, well, he told the camera to stay. Why is he worried about being recorded? Here's the thing. Sammy's kind of being looked at like he's paranoid. So Sammy, in a way, in this promo is this is how I'm seeing it. It's Sammy being paranoid. MJF could have just took his phone out and put it on the table. MJF asking him to make clear that that's what he had said about the situation, maybe sent him over thinking, wait, why does he need me to clarify? He's recording me? So he then takes the phone and throws it against the wall, thinking he recorded him. And MJF doesn't say anything like, no, I'm not. He just kind of lets him assume what he wants. It's part of, in my opinion, the mind game of MJF.
Yeah.
And yes, the camera's there. Sammy asked him to stay, but maybe he's not thinking at that moment, and he goes, oh, he could use this and cut it up and make it look a certain way. And he's just in that moment. So I think that kind of works in that sense. And, but again, I have to frame it for some people who may not have seen it that way. Not me only. I'm sure other people have had that same framing of it. But in order for people who didn't see it that way to see it, you know what I mean? So who knows? I mean, it could be just what it was. It could be, how I looked into it. It could be however somebody else looked into it. That's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. I mean, what was your vibe on that whole segment and how it broke down?
I agree with you on the narrative. I think that they were very clear in terms of what they were trying to portray. I mean, my biggest issue with it was it just felt so hammed up to me. I was mentioning you before we started recording. Some of these skits are beginning to feel very off-Broadway to me in terms of the clunkiness of the dialogue and the motions. What I found very funny about this whole thing was it was so the motion of MJF taking out the phone and putting it on the table was so affected. It was just like, really? And you would think that there looked weird. Like that right off the bat to me looked really weird that he just did it.
Yeah. I mean, I get it because they want you to focus on that.
They want you to focus on that, right.
In that term, I kind of understand that. But they didn't have to do that because then Sammy throwing the phone and saying all that stuff kind of makes you go, oh, that was something. If he just pulled it out on the table and put it there. But they, sometimes they're a little too subtle, and other times they're too overt.
Yeah.
In that sense, they were too overt where they should have been more subtle.
Exactly.
But other times they're too subtle where they should have been more overt. Like the end of it, where is it Sammy? Like with that whole, not the end of it, but that whole thing where it's being recorded by a camera. They should have tried to find a way to differentiate. Is it Sammy just being in the moment and being a little too paranoid? Or is it they just fucking didn't have a good linear story there and they fucked up how they told it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because in a real world situation, it wouldn't matter if MJF recorded on the phone and cut it up to however he wants. The cameraman was there, so at the end of the day, you've got that footage.
Right, and if they've made it clear that Jericho, watches the show and seen what was said, and so not just Jericho, but all of them watch the show, see what was said. So, in that sense, who knows? But, I mean, that's where I was coming at with it. Yeah, Big Dub says there's no happy medium with Sammy and MJF. Definitely not. I mean, it's all or nothing with these guys.
It really is.
So, let's see. Yeah, I mean, just my other little notes here is I definitely could get behind these two guys in a program, though. I mean, for me, I love Sammy. I love Sammy. MJF is the fucking future GOAT. So they're both two future stars. They're both two possible future legends, and it should be incredible whatever they end up doing with them, if they end up doing something. I mean, maybe there was just a catalyst to get Sammy out of that program and start the breakup of Inner Circle, or maybe it turns into a program with those two. We'll see. Next up, got Bonani and Avalon versus Lee Johnson and Cody. Now, I like this Bonani guy. He's got a good look. He's a big dude, and I mean, I guess it's better he's doing something than nothing. So, I'm a little more not interested in Avalon in his current incarnation. We'll see.
Yeah.
Lee Johnson, I'm not very interested in. They just signed him after this show. Obviously, Cody's a little long in the tooth for me. Like I said here in my notes, it's good to see that Bononi is sticking around, and I'm probably saying his name wrong, Cesar Bononi.
I think it's Bononi. Yeah, I think you got it.
Yeah. So, again, he wasn't around for a while. His wife had a baby. I didn't know that from research. I know that because I am actually friends with a Brazilian dude who's a wrestler in Brazil.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I'm friends with him for nothing to do with wrestling. I'm friends with him from G.I. Joe.
Right.
And he's a G.I. Joe collector as well. And he knows Bononi, and he's doing raffles and stuff to help raise money for them, for their, because they just had the baby.
Oh, very cool.
So it's interesting that I know this, this guy from something totally different, but he's friendly with him and his wife. So it's pretty cool. It's just
it's a small world.
So yeah, so that's kind of how I knew he had a baby, because he's been posting about it and stuff. Actually, it's the guy that interviewed me. Did you see that Instagram thing? Did I send it? He has like an interview show where he interviews other collectors.
Yes, that's right. I did see that.
You saw it. That was the guy.
That's the guy.
He's okay. Yeah, he's a pro wrestler. Big Dub, yo Joe, fuck yeah, baby. Yeah, he said Big Dub says 45-minute Cody entrance needs to stop. And Jimmy called Allen critical corny Jr. Yeah, so anyway, I mean, that's just a little sidebar there, but it's just funny how, like, the least research, I didn't even have to do research. It kind of came to me through a whole different avenue of what I do in my life. So, but yeah, so Shivani at the end interviews Johnson, and Johnson's going on about, he finally got his first win, 29-0 or 0-29, and then he starts thanking everybody. He goes, and I love the sarcasm. Listen, there's times where they shit on the fans in a way where like the Bucks are bad at, they do the sarcastic shitting on fans' opinions, but I like this one where he goes, even Brandy Rhodes, because it's almost like he's shitting on the fans that are like roll their eyes at Brandy constantly.
Yep.
And he's wrong, because fucking we deserve to roll our eyes, but I did like it in a sense as well. But I don't know if you caught it, but he didn't thank QT Marshall at all, and QT's face told the fucking story. Like he had that look, man. QT was all perplexed, like, fuck about me, man.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
I actually thought they did a pretty good job with that. Like, they made sure that was noticed based on QT's reaction.
Yeah. So, sometimes I might have missed something like that, because when you're taking notes, sometimes you miss the subtle things. But I actually caught that, and we'll see. I'm probably going to turn into something between him and QT for sure. I would almost guarantee that.
Sure.
You have anything on that match and any breakdown?
No.
Was it anything specific?
I mean, Lee Johnson winning was okay. I feel the same way, that there's nothing really exciting about him to me so much. He signed up. All right, that's cool. I guess we'll see whether what they end up doing with him. But overall, it was a so-so match. I was more curious about what happened afterwards than during the match. How they did kind of try that little riff there with QT. That was the most interesting part to me. So yeah, we'll see where they go with it.
Jimmy's saying that if I didn't do work for the research, it doesn't count. All right, fuck off, pal. Okay, let me get my win where I get my win.
It's accidental research.
Yes. And he says allegedly Cody got hurt during that. I did hear about it. What was it? His fucking shoulder?
I think so. Yeah.
So then, of course, we get Dasha. She's interviewing the Bucks, and the Good Brothers come in. The Bucks are a little pissed off, distracted. That they distracted them last week, and he goes, like, listen, man, we weren't there for you guys. It wasn't our fault. Santana Ortiz tossed you guys. We were there for Private Party because we got this little thing going with them in Impact. So, and then they go, you know what? The Bucks go, yeah, you know what? You're right, man. So they're kind of playing up this this tension between them, but they're still buddies, and it's the whole now we want to wrestle before the pay-per-view for a title, and they said we're gonna wrestle Santana and Ortiz, which is great. I think Santana and Ortiz have been pushed to the bottom of this company the whole time, and it's totally the worst idea that AEW has done. I mean, to me, I think they should be the tag team champs. Them and FTR, I think, programming together would be fucking incredible.
I agree.
Vying for that title, I honestly put like a good 8-month run between those two would be fucking incredible. Yeah, so you had that. I mean, what do you got on that promo? I didn't focus hard on it, I'll be honest with you. I was busy typing out some notes, but
yeah, no, I got pretty much the same assessment. I do really think that I would like to see Santana and Ortiz pushed more front and center, and it would be nice if they do involve them more as a key part of this whole story, because I agree that, you know, if they're not tag team champs, they certainly should be in the hunt. They really have been neglected, I think, for the most part, which is very odd considering their position in terms of, you know, being within the inner circle. You would think that that would highlight them a bit more, and it's not the case. So hopefully this goes well.
So Big Dub just sent me. He said, what did he say? He sent me on. He said, hey, sending research. So he sends me this thing on Facebook from their channel, their Facebook page. Which, let me go like that while I'm here. And he basically saying how Cody's been studying the Bruno and Larry. The
feud?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's probably where that whole thing is leaning. And for some reason, I can't like the page right now. So it's throwing me off. So I'm going to fucking go back and like it later. But, you know, so that's probably was Cody's idea. So
okay.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, obviously it looks like it. So yeah, he says, check your messenger. Thanks, Dub. Got it. Okay, yeah, Jimmy said partially torn rotator cuff. So.
Oh shit. Okay, that's a pretty significant injury.
Yeah. Let's see. Next on Pac and Nick Nemeth. Right.
Ryan Nemeth.
Ryan Nemeth. There you go. No, Nick Nemeth's his brother. So.
Yes.
Just a squash. I mean, it did what it had to do. I enjoyed that Black Arrow over the camera shot. Was fucking great.
I was gonna say, for how shitty AEW is with their cameras, with their camera work overall, that was one of their best. That was such a great angle for that movie.
Oh, it was such a cool move to see from that angle too. Just his body rotation. So that was awesome. That overhead camera shot on the Black Arrow.
Yep.
You know, I had nothing else on that match. I mean, just it was a squash, nothing serious.
Yep. It's always good to see Pac. So.
Yeah. Doing his thing.
Yeah.
Then we get Miro, Kip, and Penelope in a promo. Basically Miro. I mean, Kip and Penelope are there just mean mugging, pissed off, which never hate seeing too much of her. Looks like they're angling for Miro and Orange, basically.
Yeah.
You know, he kind of brought up about Orange Cassidy and him being too involved. Where it goes, nobody knows. We'll see. I'm kind of feeling a little more of this Miro that's slowly coming out. I mean, he's slowly moving towards the Miro we're hoping for.
Hopefully.
So, hopefully it continues in that direction.
Yes.
So, surprise, surprise, not a problem. Dasha again. So we get Jericho's cutting a promo. MJF's missing. You know, this is just before their match. So MJF all of a sudden shows up and says, you know, Sammy attacked him. He's wrapped up. His ribs are wrapped up. You know MJF probably overselling it. You know, so then we get out to the ring. We get MJF and Jericho. They pretty much go right out to the ring from that promo, and then they're wrestling the Acclaim. So real quick, the only thing from Dark I took was Acclaim did a video again, which I liked the video. I liked the premise. Wasn't as many good lines in it. That they usually have some pretty good lines. I know everybody else hates the fucking gimmick. I love it, but I did like it. They shit on the Dinner Debonair, which anytime you can shit on that disaster is a bonus for me. So, other than that, I mean, that was just to build to this match, obviously. I literally watched it just before we started the show, pretty much. So I fast forwarded through all of Dark and just stopped to watch that. And ATA on their way to the ring for Tay's match, Ty, whatever the fuck you want to call her. So ATA, always got to stop to watch that. So basically, honestly, it was a great match, man. I mean, I love the Acclaim. I mean, they could work. They work well.
Their ring work is fantastic.
It's funny because when Max Caster first was on Dark, he wasn't obviously doing the gimmick he's doing. He was just a jobber, and I was like, man, I can't, like that. Like I said in the past, like for me, a look can take me out of someone as you know what I mean, like somebody I'm interested in, and he just, for me, like he didn't have this. I don't know. I think he had curly, floppy hair in the front.
Yeah.
Right, and like he cut that down, and it's less crazy, and I'm like, I'm digging it. I'm digging him now. You know what I mean? It's so weird that something so minor could change your opinion on a wrestler or anything. You know what I mean?
Well, look is everything. I mean, right. You know, it could be just something minor or something major where it just gets adjusted. All of a sudden, you'll look at a wrestler completely differently.
Yeah. So let's go to the chat real quick. Jimmy says, sadly, he's going to job for quite a while. And honestly, he's talking about Ryan Nemeth. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Ryan Nemeth does nothing for me. He's a guy that I look at him and I'm like, ugh. And his wrestling is very. He should have had some warm up matches, bro, because that dude is.
Yeah.
He is. If he was a decent wrestler, he is rusty. Bill, Jimmy says, Bill, a.k.a. the Acclaim's #1 stan. Yes. And Big Dub says the only one, too. These motherfuckers are recruiting. The Big Dub, are you HWO now? And Jimmy says, ha, ha, ha. He's not only a member, he's the president, too. Vice president and treasurer also, Big Dub says. God damn, bro. I thought Simon was busy today, so we weren't going to get shit on as much. But Jimmy pops in out of nowhere. And Big Dub is all too interested in joining ranks, man.
Wait till Simon and Big Dub hook up. That's going to be interesting.
Oh, my God. Thank God Bake isn't here, too.
Yeah.
If we had that, all of them, forget it. We might have been taken over. They're taking over. So, yeah, it was great. The work in the match was great. The interference was great. It was done well.
Yes.
Everything was smooth. It was well executed. Sometimes these matches in AEW, these guys aren't on cue, or the ref's fucking looking at the person and ignoring the fact that they're doing a run in, and this all looks smooth. It went down well. You got, after the match, you got Sammy comes out and Jericho asked, what's going on? What's your issue? And he basically said, I told you in December, if one more fucking issue happens, I'm done. And he stuck to his word, quits the inner circle, walks off. That's pretty much it. And
was I mistaken? Or did he walk through the face exit?
He did.
There you go.
Yep. He walked through the face entrance, which, we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you get Creeper Marvez again in the parking lot where he's always at, hiding in the fucking shadows. He's like in the fucking trees. He's like that old Chappelle bit where he's like crackheads hiding, jumping out of trees and shit.
Yes. That's a good
spring the crack. Yeah. He's literally like that. He's like, baby, what are you doing in the street? It's 3 a.m. I got kids to feed, motherfucker. But so Marvez obviously pops the fuck out like a creep, and Sammy basically says he needs some time away from this place. Wonders, and then my note was, I wonder if I mentioned earlier, I wonder if him and Sean Spears kind of hook up and make the comeback.
Right.
But again, let's see. I didn't even think about it, but Big Dub had mentioned that it's probably a work with the Sammy issue with Impact. So it's true, could be a work, but it could be legit too. I mean, I don't know why Sammy would scoff at it. So I just read that information 10 minutes, 20 minutes before I jumped on to prepare for the show at 2:30. So
I had also just seen it.
Yeah, I didn't have time to formulate anything in my brain. I didn't think past it. But again, that's why it takes someone to throw an idea at you for you to go, oh, can start poking the holes in the situation. And Big Dub did that when he mentioned that. And I could see where that could definitely be a work. So we will find out. What you got on this match overall?
I mean, I thought it was great. I thought, like you said, there normally with a lot of these matches, you've got the run-ins and such like that just gets out of control. It was done really, really well. It was choreographed great. The match itself came off really well. Yeah, I liked it quite a bit. I really did. And I'm very curious to see where they go with Sammy, because they really could do so many different things with him at this point. They could just flat out turn him face. They could get him involved with another faction. The sky's the limit with what they can do with him. So I'm curious to see what the next step is specifically for him. Even more so than the Inner Circle altogether.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm a Sammy guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really interested in what's going on with MJF and the rest of the group. I'm really hoping it just turns out to be MJF and Santana and Ortiz, which I've been saying for fucking months now.
Yeah.
Since the whole MJF thing is getting in here. Hold on. So Dub's trying to figure out who he misunderstood. Oh man, what the fuck? I typed it wrong. It's heel World Order. He's trying to figure out who HWO was. He didn't catch it on when we were talking about it earlier.
Oh, he was Googling it?
No. He's just asking, and I typed it up while you were talking.
Okay.
I put Hell World Order like a fucking idiot. But he goes, I thought it was Hater World Order. Well, listen, Heel World Order is based off a Hater World Order. So
that's right.
It's the same shit. It's basically the same shit.
Exactly.
It's the same shit. Fucking haters trying to take over in the chat, Could be that I've gotten runner-up a few times at the Player Haters Ball. Jimmy. That's funny. So, all right. Fucking next up was Hangman and Hardy partying. How did this party happen? Was it from last week?
I think it was. It felt a little bit out of nowhere. I mean, I do believe this is.
No, they talked about let's get some drinks. I can't remember where. I missed something in my notes and I never went back to take notes. So I think maybe there was something earlier in the show. I could be wrong. But anyway, let's move on with it. So they're just drinking, having a couple shots, whatever. I didn't notice. Did Hangman toss a shot over his shoulder, or Matt Hardy? I mean,
yes. So he was trying to just have Hangman drink. He was not. He was faking it, and yes, that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah. So he's doing the old routine, trying to get your friends fucking wrecked, and excuse me. He goes. Then I choked to death.
And sorry, he actually poured it on the floor. He didn't do it over the shoulder. He
right.
The floor.
Yeah, he does the old over the shoulder move.
Exactly.
Yeah, basically without doing the over the shoulder. He does the old over the shoulder move. And so then he starts bringing up the contract and you'd be a billionaire. And Hangman's acting all psyched. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's sign it. So then Hardy decides, since the camera's there, he wants to make sure that Hangman can't say you took advantage of me and I signed the contract while I was drunk. So he looks in the camera and goes, I'm not taking advantage of him. He says he wants it. He's signing it. You see it right here on camera. As he's doing that, Hangman pulls out a totally different paper from his jacket and tosses the contract to the side.
Yes.
And he gets Matt Hardy to sign the contract. Now, what is in that contract? Who knows? Did he just absolve Private Party of their contract? Did he just fucking sign a contract for him to get Matt Hardy's cut of his stuff? You know what I mean? So it's almost like heating up. It's almost like you got Hangman was doing some weird shit and could be heating up again.
Yes.
Something good. As much as I'm like kind of off the Hardy thing and not interested in it, I mean, if they do it right, it could be a good thing.
Well, I felt the exact same way. Like I told you that I've hated this whole pairing. I don't understand why they're doing it, but this actually took a turn toward the interesting, with him just whipping out that different contract while Hardy's talking to the camera. I like that quite a bit, and now they have me interested. Now I'm wondering, what is that? What is it? What's it going to be? Right. And they obviously now, I think, they've been hitting toward this already, but this is definitely the big money Matt character. It's a bit of a diluted version of the original character, but I think they have decided they're going all in with him in this role again. So
it's less WWE sports entertainment version.
Yes, much less. This is more in the realm,
which is what I want. Which is what I want to see.
Exactly. But it is a much more diluted version. He was a lot more full of himself and a lot more $1 million man kind of style when he originally had this gimmick. And he doesn't really portray that as much now. So I would like to see more of the big money $1 million man gimmick that he had.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that. Yeah, I wouldn't hate that because I'm a DiBiase. Yeah. I like that. I like DiBiase. And here we go. I'm getting shit on already for pretty much the next segment. Jimmy, Big Dub says Bill cheating on the Acclaim with Sammy. And then, of course, Jimmy comes back with Big Dub. Just wait till he gets to Grandpappy's thing. And does he do a Tony impression? It's Sting! I don't know how good that was, but yeah. So next up we get Shivani and Sting basically out for an interview, and what seems like, as always, Sting's out again, and as always, Sting doesn't get a word or two out, and Taz pops up on the screen. They got Darby. We're going for a road trip. Check out our passenger, and they got Darby linked up in a body bag to the back of the truck. They skate him off down the fucking parking lot, and Sting kind of like meanders his way to the back to go, makes it look a little rushed, but not rushed enough,
Kinda,
but he doesn't get a word out.
Yeah.
But it's I can imagine the amount of money he's making per word is probably very high.
I was going to say, I think of every appearance he's made since he's joined this company, he's probably said enough words for maybe half a promo.
Right. Pretty much. I love Sting, but it's like, come on, man. It's not, these guys got to do it.
Yeah, this is easy money for him.
These guys got to change it up. Oh, Jimmy says Impact was big money, Matt.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, well, I mentioned WWE, so I don't know.
You were thinking of Matt version 1. Yeah. You were thinking that he was more acting like Matt version 1.
No.
But,
No. Big money Matt, but I don't know the character. I'm just that's what I'm saying.
I see.
Like,
okay.
I'm just kind of like assuming and guessing with how you were saying it, So like that it was, you made it seem like it was more WWE style, like entertainment bullshit, over the top nonsense. Okay, so then we get Creeper Marvez yet again.
He's everywhere.
He's on the golf course. He's out of a tree in a golf course. A crackhead out of a tree. Sprinkle the crack. So, I like this segment as much as this fucking Marvez thing annoys me. And they're obviously hamming up the Marvez thing. Yeah. They mentioned him being a creeper, and I like this. Kenny hits the shot. He tells Marvez, hold on. He tees up his shot, hits the shot. Then he goes, okay, Marvez, what do you want? And between like they keep the camera open. There's the hole. You see the flag. They're talking. Omega's cutting his promo, right? Talk about how he's relaxing before the main event tonight, and talking about the background of Callis. Callis is in the background, and he's putting the ball from his pocket. He gets rid of the other ball that went past the hole, gets the ball from his pocket, puts it in the hole. The promo ends. He goes, how'd it go, guys? And Callis is like, you got it in. So, like, for me, it was fucking, I loved it. It was so good. It was a little tough at first to understand what was going on in the background. It was a little, I get it, because you got the foreground shot.
Yeah.
And then the background's blurry. But maybe they should have got a little closer. But I kind of get the idea. I like where they shot it from, though. Like the lower bunker, like almost in the lower, like, bunker sand trap area almost. So it gave it a good view, but it was just a little too far. Maybe if they found a different hole, could have worked a little better. But once I realized, he fucking went and grabbed the ball and then he's taking the ball out and dropping it in the hole. I really got a kick out of that, man. I really think that was just a great promo and a great look overall. And, Cal is fucking just sucking ass and doing what he's got to do to keep Kenny thinking, everything's sweet.
Yep.
How this eventually turns on Kenny in the future, we will see.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't, because I like heel Kenny, man. I've been saying that for a long time. He's actually getting good with the He's not getting good. He's actually taking the heel promos serious. He's not doing that goof, I'm not serious bullshit. So, I like where it's going. What was your feeling on this whole promo here?
I liked it. I found it really especially funny at the end where, Marvin's asked for a ride back and they're like, nah, they just leave him behind.
It's right. I forgot the golf cart. He's like, yeah. It's like, can I get a ride, guys? Like, nah. Nope. That's fucking great. All right. So, what do we got?
We got Thunder Rosa.
Layla Hirsch versus Thunder Rosa. Yeah. Didn't watch much of it. So go ahead, take it away.
I didn't watch that much of it either. I was more watching it the corner of my eye. I mean, it was okay. All right match.
So a couple hiccups I saw early on, and I kind of just started scrolling Facebook.
And tell me if I'm wrong or not. Is this was the second match of the tournament? Is that right?
No, that's the first.
This is the first one. Okay, I had forgotten if it was one.
The Japanese side isn't even going to air on TNT.
That's right.
I don't know where. I just, my least research only found out that they're not going to air it on TNT.
I mean, I do hope they find a way to show it somehow, though, because it's kind of silly to not be able to see the entirety of the tournament.
I think it's probably going to be YouTube.
Okay.
They're showing it somewhere. Just I don't know where.
Okay. But I mean, there were some hiccups, but for the most part, it was a decent match. I thought. No surprise at all. The Thunder Rosa is advancing.
Yeah, no surprise there. And we know Jimmy's got Thunder Rosa's tit in her mouth.
So
in his mouth.
Least research, but good last minute research. I did just see here. Yes, Japan's side is going to be seen on Monday at 7 p.m. on AEW's YouTube channel. So great.
It's funny because I did actually know that.
Okay.
Now that it was said, because I remember thinking, oh shit, nice little thing to maybe cut into Raw a little bit. So even though it's women and YouTube, still anything to cut into a little bit of Raw would be good for me.
Sure.
Let's see, are they shit on me anymore here? Yeah, Big Dub goes, there goes Bill again talking about holes. And Big Dub says, if you actually watched the show. Which show, man? They said it on Dynamite? That's the thing, man. I mean, man, you're taking notes. You're not listening to all that shit. A lot of times I don't even listen to the announcers, man.
Yeah, it is.
Or when they start flashing those promos, I don't give a fuck. I'll see it eventually.
Yeah.
I know it's happening, so I just wait for it to happen. Wow. So Jimmy, the thing with Jimmy is Jimmy's always got Thunder Rosa's tit in his mouth, so he goes better than better than you having Sting's sack in yours. You know what, pal?
Oh my God.
I think you're right there, but I wouldn't complain if I was on your side, but anyway. So then we get Jungle Boy. He's got a promo talking about his match against Dax. How basically he came out a different man, which I like. I like that he's referencing this, and hopefully this leads to something new and a different direction. Like when we had Big Dub on earlier, how he said he'd love to see them break up. I think this is leading in that direction. Not break up negatively, but just break up and go their own separate way. Right, and then maybe not even totally separate, but just allow Jungle Jack Perry to be on his own and do his own thing. And I love he at the end he says he's gonna make Dax his bitch, so I love that. I got a kick out of it. They also cleaned up the whole Marco being kidnapped. Marco's fine. They released him. They just want to let us know they could get at him. That type of shit. So good promo.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Good.
I liked them calling Dax's little bitch. Again, I like that they're giving guys, these young guys, these promos and time to do them, and even though they haven't had much promo time, they're giving them that opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, where WWE wouldn't even. They'd be like, "No, we're gonna give you a manager." You know. You know, again, we said it with Shida. Okay, her English ain't great, but they're giving her the opportunity.
Exactly.
And they're accepting it, and like normal fucking people, accepting that people watching will accept that she's not, English isn't her first language, you know, and will still tune in and will still listen and will still be interested, which I think the problem is a lot of people don't think in that sense, you know, like, so WWE, like, they're like, no, we got to throw a, you know, you can't put her on a promo because she's going to not sound good. Well, who cares? And me watching it, I know she's Japanese, bro. English is not even her second language, I'm sure. So it's, you know, so it's good to just see that these young guys are getting the time. Again, even with the Sammy meandering bullshit, at least he's getting a chance to meander and try to figure it out on the fly, and it's not hurting television. It's just him on dark fucking around and trying to see where he can go. As much as we roll our eyes at it, I get it and I accept it. So, next up is the main event. They put 30 minutes for this, which was cool. I was a little surprised.
They dedicated a lot of time to this.
Yeah. So we had Kenta, first time New Japan wrestlers in the ring for AEW. We got Kenta and Omega versus Moxley and Archer, and a basically lights out match. You know, we can't sanction it because Kenta's not an AEW wrestler, which is a stupid way to frame it, in my opinion. I get you want to have a hardcore match or whatever, just find a different way to do it, because now every New Japan wrestler you got is not sanctioned.
Right, they're gonna have to have an unsanctioned match every week now if they end up having a New Japan wrestler in this every week. It's what are you gonna do?
Right. Real quick before we go to the main event, let me see. Go watch our interview with Thunder Rosa. Oh shit, good shit, Big Dub. Yeah, we're not interested in interviewing, not yet anyway. We're not trying to be professional fucking what do you call us, analysts or
analysts?
Not even analysts. We're just not trying to be professional. How about
We're
that?
more analysts than we are analysts.
Yes. Big Dub says Jungle Boy needs more reps on the mic. Yeah, definitely, but he did pretty well. I like the promo.
Yeah.
He's obviously going to clean it up and get a little better. I think he needs to change his inflection because he does sound like a young kid, and the way he comes off. But Jimmy, damn, you guys interviewed Rosa. Looks like I have a favorite new show. Do you guys actually do research too? And Big Dub says tons. We pay attention to the show too. You know what, Big Dub? I first enjoyed having you on. Now I don't know so much. We just do this because we like to talk AEW, and this is our outlet to talk AEW, you son of a bitch. And Jimmy says she even wears our merch too. That's pretty cool, actually. That's pretty cool. We don't have merch. We have a big list of merch.
We do.
We don't have it yet.
I have a running draft that I'm still keeping.
Yeah. When we have a grandma's old molasses wall shirt, we'll maybe give you one. But all right. So on to the main event. So fucking. What a match, dude. That was fun. It was good. It was done well. 30 minutes. I enjoyed every minute of it. The funny part was when Kenta literally got potatoed, and then Moxley comes in and gets the potato, and then they finally they reference the potatoing, and that was fun. It was just Omega getting the potato, and I liked it. I just liked the match overall. I mean, there's not much to say about it.
Oh, you had good talent in there.
Other than that,
yeah,
right. Other than that, there's not much to say, man. It was just, it just moved well. It flowed well. The spots flowed well. I liked when originally Kenny and Kenta couldn't get on the same page, and then they go, wait a minute, we're on the same team, and then they just start beating the shit out of Moxley, and I mean, all right. I mean, that was one thing. Archer's down a little too long, but I get it. I mean, you gotta give them the moment to get kick Moxley's ass.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was fun.
And Kenta knows how to bounce. He really does. He knows how to bounce. But there's no surprise there at all. He's great.
Yeah. So it was a fun little start. I don't know. I mean, I heard people thinking like Kenta didn't look strong. They didn't, it's like his first New Japan guy. I mean, that shit is, I felt like the match overall, like everybody looked good.
And I think the issue with Kent is, I think he looked fine. The problem is he's a small guy, and he was in the ring with 3 other big guys. And I think that's what it comes down to, is that it's very difficult to look very strong if you're going to be at such a size disadvantage. But his ring work itself and everything else, I thought he looked fine.
Yeah. I think the whole match looked great. Other than that, I really got nothing about the match. I mean, no specifics. Just the potato thing. I popped on that.
It was funny. Yeah.
It was a nice little, wrestling terminology scenario there.
Because you don't normally hear that on a show. You normally that's more backstage talk. That's talk that happens on the dirt sheets or whatever. You don't really hear much about potatoing. So it was kind of surreal to hear that on an actual show.
And a lot of times you don't want to hear that backstage shit on a show.
That's
we
true.
talk about the EVP shit. But the potato thing worked better. They're in a kitchen. I don't mind the terminology of being potato. Yep. It didn't fucking hurt my ears like when I hear he's an EVP.
Right.
That bullshit. So, but yeah, great main event. 30 minutes of fun. Like you said, a whole bunch of fucking professionals in the ring.
It's hard to go wrong.
Obviously, at the end, you had the Good Brothers come out, help them take the match. And we'll see what goes down with Bullet Club.
Yeah.
It could be, the whole thing could be a swerve, or it could literally be just they turn it into Japan versus the US, almost like a Wolfpack and Black and White.
I kind of feel like that's probably the more likely scenario.
Yeah, it gives you a good story and it gives you a good set of wrestlers to feud.
Yes.
Tama Tonga's been talking all this shit about the Bucks and this and that, so it gives the Bucks versus God. Like Big Dub mentioned earlier, you got Jay White versus Kenny. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe the whole Kenta Omega thing. Maybe Kenta turns on the Japan side and comes with Omega. You know what I mean? You never know. You never know how this all plays out.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential.
Because then you go, well, if that happens, well, why is Kenta hanging with Omega then?
Right.
Or, he reluctantly kind of did it, but still, he's still wrestling with him. So it's, but that could be a catalyst for what happens as well.
Right.
So, anyway, it's looking like it's going to be a fun little 6 months here.
Yeah.
To see how a couple of these things shake out.
All right.
Let me see. Let's go to the chat real quick before we close out. So Big Dub is bragging again about their merch, but I mean, listen, Big Dub's bragging, but they talk about all kinds of wrestling. We're specific AEW, and we're kind of new, man. We're kind of new. So, look who popped in!
We got a cameo from Bake.
Bake has shown up at the end of the fucking road here. Oh wow, I'm fucking around. Oh, there it is. I can't believe I just found that. I'm fucking around with my screwdriver, pulling the top off, and it just went ping, and it fucking bounced off 50 things, and shockingly, I looked behind me and it was there. But anyway, so let's get back to the chat here. So, I mean, listen, Big Dub's over here bragging and shit about merch, and, he's saying we won't have merch, and Cody's kid will be champ before we got merch, and, oh, man, Jimmy's agreeing. True story. And Big Dub says Shane Marty won't be involved. Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, who knows what happens down the line with Marty, but I think for now it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
And Jimmy says they're going to have to go by the Elite, I'm sure. Biz Cliz, baby. Jay White will own Oshmega. Oh, my God. Jimmy is the biggest fucking... He talks about my Sting markdom. Between fucking Thunder Hosa and fucking... the fucking Geo, has Tama's balls in his mouth. All he ever right? It's all he ever talks about is Tama. Like, bro, you got what? Did he get you flowers or something? Like on Valentine's Day? Like, did you buy him chocolates, Jimmy? Huh, Shake? Bake. Good to see you, brother.
Yes. Welcome.
And even though he popped in to just say HWO for life, I think they're literally recruiting other podcasts now to fucking attack us.
There you go.
So I don't know, man. Maybe we'll get sucked up and taken over, and we're screwed.
We have our own forbidden door that's been opened.
Yeah. We're maybe we should start interviewing wrestlers, but I mean, we shit on a lot of wrestlers, so they're gonna be like, it's gonna get around any locker room if they even fucking heard the shit we said. I'm not saying listen, and I don't mean it like, oh, we're popular. I'm just saying, like, if any of these guys fucking heard some shit that we said about one guy, it's probably like, you know how wrestlers are, man.
Of course.
They're sensitive. They're sensitive, man. It's like, and everybody's sensitive, bro. But you can imagine one person happens upon us saying some negative shit about, like, I don't know, fucking Luchasaurus, and then the whole fucking company. Because you know how AEW is, man. They seem pretty, like, family oriented.
They very much are.
They're gonna be like, you fucking shit on Luchasaurus, bro. We ain't fucking with you. And you're like, oh, okay. Oh man.
Let alone what we've said about Brandy.
Oh fuck yeah. I mean, and her being the EVP, whatever the fuck she is.
Yep.
And Big Dub says we have already been banned by WWE. Big Dub, how long you guys been doing your show? I should have asked you that earlier. At least research. I'm trying to get some research now.
I mean, WWE has blocked a lot of shows.
Jimmy says that is Bill's set up the back. What is it?
Backyard ring lights out match.
I think he means that's it, Bill. Set up the backyard.
Oh yeah.
Backyard ring lights out match. Yeah, it's because I shit on him for having God's nuts in his mouth. But let's see what Big Dub heard me there. But yeah, 1 year plus. Yeah,
right.
We're coming up on a year, so I mean, they're obviously making moves. We ain't. We're just like, fuck it. We're just gonna talk about the show every week, and
yeah.
I still got to do that other thing I want to do, and I've been procrastinating on that. But all right, everybody. As always, like, share, subscribe, please. If you're listening to this video right now, currently, like the fucking video,
please, right now.
Share it, subscribe, hit the bell. Uncensoredalliance.com is where you can find everything we do. Links to everything. As always, we do the least fucking research, and Iron Sheik has told us to go fuck ourselves, as you can see on the screen. We are live every Sunday at 3:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S., so you can catch us live at that time. Twitter, AEW Uncensored. Email us, AEWUncensoredPodcast@gmail.com. Love mail, hate mail. Questions, comments, statements, whatever the fuck you want. We'll read it. We won't read it. If you don't want it read on air, tell us you don't want the shit read on air. If you just want to chat with us, we're good. Facebook, AEW Uncensored Podcast. We have a page and a group. Like the page, join the group. Skype, we do the call-ins live on Skype. You heard we had Big Dub come on earlier. He connected with us on Skype through the link, and we brought him on the show for a call-in. So the link is in the description of the podcast the audio podcast version and the live video version on YouTube. So as far as the podcast audio version, you can find us on all third-party applications, podcatchers, Google Podcasts, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and of course iTunes. And please, on iTunes, rate us, review us. Please, if you have iTunes, please do it. Just like YouTube, that is a huge part of the podcast world, and that helps us out a lot. So if you got love for us, please do that. It continues to show us that we're growing. It continues to help us move up rankings on iTunes, and same with the YouTube. So please like the YouTube videos, review us and rate us on iTunes, and spread the fucking word.
Yeah, man.
We're coming up on a year soon. I think, we have 42 episodes in. 10 more episodes will be a year in, and we like to hear a little more from you guys. I mean, we got our family in the chat right here. We got the Peanut Gallery, but we want to hear from Warriors. It's cool to see a couple guys pop in today that are new to the show. So Very, very fun time today. So thank you again. Big Dub, good to hear from you today, man.
Thanks for joining us.
Shout out to Colvin TV. I hope I said that right. Watch their show, listen to their show, whatever you do. And thank you, everybody. Much appreciated. See you next week.
Take care, all.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.